in. Alfred got up well. Right up on a feelie. Gabriel Thomas is running a terrific curve. The American is in front. Dina Asher-Smith is going well. Alfred has work to do. Gabby Thomas is going away. Gabby Thomas strikes goal. Bronze 3 years ago in Tokyo. She runs an amazing curve here to secure the Olympic title. She's been desperate for. Julian Alfred didn't fly off the bend this time, and she couldn't chase Gabby Thomas, who went away in the closing stages. The St. Lucian adds 200 silver to her 100 gold. A terrific Olympic Games for her. But Gabby
Well, a host of Caribbean athletes were in action on day 6 of track and field. However, the night belonged to St. Lucia's Julian Alfred, Jamaica's Wayne Pinnock, both picking up medals in their individual events. Today, we will start our discussion with the women's 200-meter final as Julian Alfred went to stardom yet again, the new sprint queen of the Caribbean. Celebrations galore. Welcome to the show, my friends. We Paddy Prime. I'm Sachin Ramsubag. Joining me in this discussion, as always, Jehu Gordon, Anna Roberts, and joining us from the Paris commentary box, Obadilla Thompson. First up, Jehu, you're smiling from ear to ear because yet again you've made your prediction spot on.
Yeah, yesterday we knew what it required to win the Olympic gold. We knew it was a 50-50 toss-up between Gabby and between Julian. Obviously, we could have seen today that a little bit of fatigue kicked in. She did not have the best execution. It is not one of the faster times. But when she comes out here, she backs up a 100-meter goal with an Olympic silver medal in the women's 200. It is definitely a feat worth applauding.
I know some people in the Caribbean may be disappointed, but I don't think they know the extent of this silver medal. Gold backed up by a silver, just 2 or 3 days separating each other. This is ginormous.
Whoever disappointed either should check themselves into St. Anne's or really and truly look in the mirror and ask themselves what are they about. A woman getting a gold and silver. Now you understand this is not an easy thing. This pressure, winning a 100-meter Olympic championship, first time in history. Everybody wants piece of you. You run 3 rounds. Yes, you ran the first round comfortably, but just going through 24 hours between the first round and the semi-final, then an hour and 45 minutes, it's just nerve-wracking, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, getting out there, winning that 100 meters, celebration in St. Lucia, media, question, social media, not sleeping well, excitement, your dreams have been fulfilled. That takes a toll. You come back the next morning to run a 200, you still do well. You come back, you're solid, I'll break 22 seconds in the semi-final, but you're a human being. Her speed wasn't there because it's a bit much, but she still fought and held what she deserved, her silver medal. And a silver medal, gold and silver, brilliant, amazing performance. Gabby Thomas was sitting and waiting. Her season was perfect. She had done everything right. She was intelligent, she was rested, she was sharp. She's brilliant. She's like a gazelle. Her technique is perfect. She got the perfect lane. All the stars aligned for Gabby Thomas. This was her race. Right here, Alfred did not have a blistering speed because the child tired, the athlete tired. All you feel it is. She needed, and she tried. She needed to get off the blocks and open up a gap. But as you saw it, it just wasn't there. But did she give up? Did she say, well, I don't have my speed, I don't have my A game, let me give up? No. You know what she did? She dug deep and she got a silver medal the reverse way. She finished strong. The last 60 meters, she took pain for St. Lucia. She put St. Lucia on her back and went there for silver. If anybody disappointed with that, all you had to be mad. Well done, girl. Juju all the way.
And just to bring some athletic terms in there, anytime an athlete's personal best, right, it takes some doing on the body. For example, she ran 10.72 in the 100-meter semifinals, her personal best before 10.78. So I would have understood that it will take her a couple of days, if not a couple of weeks, for her body really to come back down and fully recover from what she did after going through 3 really extensive runs in the women 100 meters.
Yeah, we have Obadile Thompson joining us from the Paris Combox. Obadile, walk us through your initial reactions when Julian crossed that finish line in second spot.
I think Anil nailed it when he said that she gave everything, but today just wasn't her day. This is an extremely tough double. I don't understand why they did it this way. She should have at least had a day in between, or they should have run later in the evening. I think the repechage round is really making a difference to some of these athletes in terms of the quantity of races that they have to run. People have to remember, when you come out to run a race, it's not that she finished one race, the 100 meters that night, went through doping control, everything that Anil talked about, but then she has to wake up the next morning and get warmed up. That warm-up means multiple runs. She did an amazing job. When I saw Gabby Thomas cover her by the end of the turn, I knew she was in trouble, but as Anil said, and as we all witnessed, she had the heart of a champion. She kept fighting. She separated herself from the other bunch who were fighting for third. She got a silver medal. What an outstanding Olympic Games for her. We're happy for her. We're happy for St. Lucia. Happy for the Caribbean.
Yeah, Oba, what was the emotion like in the combox when you all were calling the race? Because I'm sure it would have been something out of the ordinary to see this happen.
Yeah, we were all excited, but we also know, as Jehu said, that it was 50-50, perhaps a little bit more than 50-50 in favor of Gabby Thomas, who has fresh legs, who also has that 400-meter running experience. And as soon as we saw what happened on the turn where Julian hadn't separated by enough, we kind of knew the inevitable was going to happen. It did, but she still came away with that silver medal.
Yeah, Jehu, walk us through that bend. We spoke a lot on it, that if she got the bend right, maybe she may be closer to a gold than we think. But again, that bend having a bit of a troubling time there for Julian.
Well, many people will believe that they can just go and sprint an entire 200. If you try to sprint an entire 200 meters, by the time you are on the home stretch with about 80 meters to go, as Anna like to say, that big piano, or in track and field terms, the gorilla will jump on your back. Right? Gabby, she was fatigued. Normally she's one of the fastest, normally she's one of the first off of the bend here, but something happened in between 70 and 100 meters. I wasn't sure if it was just a bit of a hesitant move, but normally we try to slingshot off of the bend to build the momentum with the centrifugal force that is taking us around the bend here. Given that she's on the outside, she would have had to use the right hand to swing more to the inside so she do not draft too much to the outside of the lane, causing her to run more than 200 meters. I don't want to break down the race too much because, again, she's an Olympic silver medalist. She ran 3 really extensive runs in the 100 meters, and she could have given up when she realized she was in 5th position just with about 100 meters to go. But the championship mentality within her, she dug deep, she had the grit, she had the spirit, knowing that everyone across the Caribbean is backing her 150%.
Yeah, that is an excellent breakdown there by J.Hugh Gordon. I don't think anybody could have done it much better than that. You know, it's always great to get the emotion as it happens. Don Oliver spoke to one Julian Alfred after the race. Let's hear what she had to say.
Julian, you gave it your all at these Olympic Games. St. Lucia didn't have a medal before. Now they have 2, gold and silver.
Right. Words can't begin to express just how happy I feel right now. One, that is over, because it was a long 5 days for me. I'm just happy for my country. Most importantly for my coach, the amount of work that he put into me and time. He spent his entire summer with our team, coaching us to be here at this level.
I know it must be emotional for you, especially for people who would have known your story, that this was your father's dream, especially coming out on top with the gold and silver now. I mean, how do you recap these performances, these series of performances that brought your island glory?
I'm happy about it, no complaints. Grateful that God got me through it, grateful that my coach coached me to get to this level and come out with 2 medals. Yeah.
St. Lucia must be elated tonight.
I'm sure they are. Now we have 2 medals, 1 gold, 1 silver, and we can't ask for more.
That's all we can ask, I suppose. But in the moment, we'll enjoy it. Congrats again.
Thank you so much.
Brilliant indeed. St. Lucia, you have Darren Sammy first, and now you have Julian Alfred, two world-class athletes really representing your country with perfection. I think that interview sums up everything she said. It was a very tough last 5 days, and credit as well. She gave full credit to her coach, Anil, and you know, you spoke heavily that once the athlete is willing to work with the coach, once the coach is right, that is, you know, everything else should fall into place.
But you see the human being?
The emotion, yeah.
That's a human being. That's a brilliant, that's selfless, that's gratitude, that's humility. To stand there as a superstar, all the praises on you, Juju, and to say to my coach, thank you for all the effort, inside, outside. That's how important. But coaches, you almost understand, you hear how she talk? I could hear from her that the coach make sure every piece of food that went in her mouth, you monitor how much percentage protein, carbohydrate, limit the fat, how much milkshake, how much protein shake, how much amino acid, how much work you're doing, how much rest, how much massage, everything monitored. Because when you have a diamond like that, the coach has to be intelligent. You can't just be going around thinking about, oh, I come here, move by myself, go so, go left. It's not Dinamint you're buying, it's Olympics, and that interview tells it all. That lady has just begun, because with her attitude and in memory of her father, brilliant. I'm so proud of that athlete. That's what you want as a coach, J. Hugh. You want an athlete like that.
Yeah, every coach loves an athlete who is coachable. You don't want to be out there and you have to run somebody down to train, run them down to stay out of all the partying, all the nightclubs, all the drinking, all the wrong set of things that is being done. As athletes, it is not the 2 or the 3 or the 4 hours that we put in on the track, but it is the 20 or so hours after we finish on the field of play.
Yeah, a lot of other things, other factors went into play there as well. Apart from the humility that she expressed, the support, the drive that we saw, Anil, from the supporters back home.
Let me tell you, you see what happened? All you put a big screen in across the country, and she saw that. She saw the people. She saw the tension. She heard the mic man talking. She saw the love. And that's why all you get silver. If it wasn't for you, the people of St. Lucia, it had no silver, because she tired. That 5 days you're here, watch her face. She can't even do the interview. She looking beautiful but tired, exhausted, drained. But knowing that the whole of St. Lucia watching, that last 80 meters, J.U., she dug deep. She's the sprinter. She's the racehorse. She's supposed to go out, and Gabby Thomas supposed to be fighting, coming with the last 50. But it just wasn't there because too much running in such a short space of time. But she didn't give up. She drove for her country, for her people. Give her a round of applause. Love it.
Oba, I want to bring you back into the conversation here. Gabby Thomas did a fantastic job. You know, all expectations were that Thomas would have won the gold, and she backed it up.
Indeed, she backed it up, and it'll be remiss of me not to also mention the fact that the favorite coming into 2024, Shericka Jackson, was unable to participate, likely because of injuries. And so that really opened it up for Gabby Thomas. Also, I was reading and just checking things. Gabby Thomas does have Jamaican ancestry, and she credits her Jamaican roots as being one of the reasons why she is able to perform this well. And going back to a point that Anno made, it's that our region is rich with talent. When we as athletes feel that support, it fuels us to do great things. And I hope governments, I hope administrators, I hope coaches, I hope parents, I hope the athletes themselves listen and internalize this and do the things necessary to get our athletes, or give them a chance to be able to showcase all their talent, so that the world can see it and so that we can celebrate as we do in moments like this.
Jay, you're now in a position where Oba made some excellent points there. You're now in a position as a former athlete yourself that you could say things that will mean things that can make a difference. What would you like to see done differently in the Caribbean, especially in the heels of great performances like Alfred?
Well, there's a lot to be done. We saw a situation with Shafiqua from St. Vincent coming out and saying that she is homeless. There is no way that one of your top athletes for your country should have to be begging for support. The government has to understand that politics and sports is an interchangeable role where we don't want too much of an involvement from politics, but given our nature, our setup and our structure here in the Caribbean, the government has a really, really important part to play.
Do you think, apart from intrinsic motivation from the athletes over monetary motivation is a factor?
You have to pay bills, and people don't take sympathy as payment for bills.
Well, we're going to take a short break and come back with more on We Party Prime. Oba stays with us, and the discussion with Jehu and Anil continues after this. Stay with us.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
in a world where our dreams sometimes seem so far away, Digicel is the partner that brings us all together. Stay connected this summer at home or on the go with Digicel Plus Home Fiber or a Prime Broader plan. Enjoy premium access to the action anywhere you're there. One side, one Digicel, one Jamaica. Digicel, better connected.
Be terrified by the line that went on forever, where one man is trapped in a never-ending car insurance payment line.
Wow, that sounds like a nightmare.
Right?
So why not skip the horror story and choose BCIC for all your car insurance needs?
You can go online and get a quote in less than 5 minutes. Or you can buy a policy in less than 10 minutes.
Plus payment options and so much more designed especially for you. BCIC, rethink insurance.
It's the Paris Games, darling. Everything needs to be perfect. Sneakers and spikes?
Check.
Her looks?
Check.
Okay, team. Seems like we pulled this off in record time. So, I just want to know, where's the water? Thanks, but I mean the cases of water. So she can stay hydrated for the games? Where's the water?
I didn't think she was taking water with her to Paris.
Hey, Jacko!
The water team send the cases ahead, so if you're good, then I'm officially ready for Paris.
Track and field, swimming, or any sport. Place your bets on the 2024 Olympics and more at betcagesports.com and enjoy the payouts. Now available on Barbados, St. Lucia, and Antigua Barbuda.
We a bucket together when everybody out. Fried chicken we a pre-bucket for the crew. Share a bucket together, everybody go live. Spicy original when we online. Bucket together to the new dance craze. Taste explosion bursting with flame. When we a bucket together, it put you in a good mood. Every moment to share is finger licking good. Bucket together, come make we bucket together. Bucket together, bucket together.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
Second round. first round, 784. He was only 796 in qualifying. Oh, that's brilliant from Pinner. The Jamaican World Championship silver medalist has joined the party. He said it just didn't come together in qualifying, but in his second round he goes well beyond 8 meters, and this I think could put him in the silver medal position. He was passed by Tintoglu in the final round in Budapest last year.
We're back on We Paddy Prime. Jamaica's Wayne Pinnock followed up his World Championship long jump silver medal with Olympic silver at Paris 2024. He spoke with Donald Oliver.
Fantastic performance. I know in the final jump you're a little bit disappointed because you couldn't get that gold, but talk to me about what you did tonight.
Well, honestly, words can't, explain the feeling right now. I've been trying all my life, I've dreamed about this moment, to become an Olympian. I know I'm an, Olympic silver medalist. So, I'm forever grateful, and, I prayed about this moment. Like, I really prayed, and, it's gonna be my time soon. I'm just gonna, just have to be grateful.
You know you belong now.
Yes.
So much take away from these Olympic Games. What's the main thing that you will take away from this silver medal performance?
Honestly, to try and get that Greek dude. Like, I don't know, but probably he's working some stuff, but yeah, we're gonna get him for sure though. For sure. We ain't gonna stop. We ain't giving up.
All the best. It's a wonderful Independence Day present for Jamaica.
Thank you. All right, bye.
Indeed, you really looked like one of your favorite Marvel characters flying through the air there. A brilliant jump indeed, 8.36 meters. That's a mighty jump there, Jehu.
Mighty jump. And for him, as he mentioned, like, he dreamt about this moment all his life. He is a silver medalist from the World Championship last year. So it for him now, he said that he feels as though he belongs now. It wasn't a fluke to him. It is not a fluke to his supporters. It wasn't his best jump for the year. He's already jumped 8.44 meters earlier in the year. But to come out here and solidify a spot in history as an Olympic silver medalist for Jamaica, I think is a really great feat.
Obadiah Thompson, this has to be something in the record books for this young man, because he said that he doesn't feel like he belongs, but now he felt like he belonged. And a silver medal is a massive achievement.
It is a massive achievement to go along with his silver medal from the World Championships last year. I remember people asking me, what did it feel like to be in a stadium of 60, 80,000 people? And in my prime, I always said, I just felt like if I belonged. And that is a necessary feeling in order to deliver the type of performances that get you into the finals and get you onto the podium. You have to believe that you are one of the best on the planet, if not the best in the world. He talked about the Greek athlete, the Tintoglu, who has won the Olympics before. He had this world longest jump, 8.65 earlier this year. He snatches dreams in the 6th and final round because he believes and he knows he belongs. So to hear Wayne say that I belong, expect great things from him in the future.
Anil, what will this do for his confidence, knowing that he did this in front of so many millions looking on, billions possibly, and not just billions, but just that feeling of representing your country to the best possible way?
Well, when he watched the tape, he will be very confident because he left about 16 centimeters on the board, and when he was entering the pit, his coccyx just kind of dragged a little bit. He could have kept it up on oomph, which would have given him another 4 centimeters. So that jump that he did there, if it was absolutely perfect, it could have been somewhere above 854, 853. So once he watched the tape, this jump here is remarkable. Look where he take off. You see the landing? He had a little bit more. When you see a perfect jump, when you saw Carl Lewis back in the days, 84, 88, 92, 96, you will see him entering the pit with a sort of ability that kind of like an elastoman, these jumpers, right? But you see his bottom, he should have, I don't know if his knees gave away in the sand, but he should have sort of held and kicked out, and then that would not have dragged there, that goal. Now you see that little bit a little hook on the end. That was a jump. I don't know. This man belongs. He is going to fly. And how old is he, J.U.? He have long to go.
Yeah, he's just about 23 years old.
Yeah, he now start, man. And he say he not giving up like Marshall Montano. Sing that tune, play that soca next time. You might jump 862.
You either love Anna Roberts or you hate him. So those who love him, well, he's a lovable lunatic. He's known on the show as. J.U., this is something that, I mean, some people expected. But did you predict having him in a second position?
Yeah, it's always good to see a follow-up medalist from the previous year come and defend it. It's unfortunate that Carrie McLeod, another Jamaican who was in the World Championship that placed fourth last year in Budapest, settled for 12th position, which is actually outside of the top 8. But another history in the making for Jamaica. 2 finalists this time. They defend their world champion of Tajay Gale from 2019, not able to make it to the finals. But salute to Jamaica for continuously producing these great long jumpers on an international stage.
Oba, the young man, the 19-year-old from Italy, Fulani, impressed with an opening jump of 8.34 meters. At that point, I think everyone in the world, you know, they really got glued to their TV sets.
Yeah, as they say, he threw down the gauntlet in the first round, that big jump. And the thing about him being still only 19 years old, and if anyone has watched him come down the runway, you know there's so much more. I expect that with good health, he's going to be one of the major players for the next 5-6 years. His running style, he's so aggressive, and he just believes that he's going to do something big. I think he came second at the European Championships to this gentleman right here. But yeah, the Italian, he's an amazing talent.
Yeah, brilliant indeed. J.U., when you see an athlete like this, he's very elastic, as Anil mentioned. He's lightweight. He leapt off the board with immense power and got good elevation as well. Walk us through, how does it get an athlete to this sort of quality?
Well, I believe he'll have to be born for it. You don't just come up there. Back in the day, we used to see sprinters built like a truck. Now we're seeing Noah Lyles, who's pretty slender, yes, muscular at the same time, but you must be born with this type of physical advantage here, where most people will not have that type of competitiveness.
Now, Sachin, good point there, because he's 19. And understand this. Your anaerobic capacity does not stop increasing till you reach manhood. When man tell you about man strength and boy strength, it is really scientific. Your anaerobic capacity is what's going to make you explode. Your speed, your power, leaping off there. So if he's in 19, he have about 4 more years to develop that ATP-CP system. So he could go with man strength, man power much further. Once he maintains that slim figure, that flexibility, don't add on too much weight, too much power, size, because the more muscle you add, you have to carry that. So you have to stay the same.
Listen, and they like to bring in all these objective points, and it's good points, but at the same time, at 19 years old, you don't know the type of training that he is doing for 19 years old. He could be in a specialized program. He could have been in a specialized program from the tender age of 8, 9, 10 years, where they've been developing him for over a lengthy period. So we are now seeing everything come to fruition. So yes, it's always great to say in 4 years' time he would be great. We would love him to be great. Great excitement for the sport and looking on, but nothing is ever guaranteed in sports, and we still look forward to the great things that the young guy has in store for us.
Interesting points indeed. Speaking of great things, Oba, the gentleman who won gold, had a massive leap as well, Tentoglu from Greece.
Yeah, he has a tendency, either he does it early, he does it late. It's like how Carl Lewis, I remember talking to the great Carl Lewis, and I asked him about his jumping, and his approach was that he tries to look at it as he only has one jump in the competition. Tentoglu puts out a big mark, and the thing about it is he knows when he jumps well, it gets in the minds of the other competitors. Even if he's behind, he's done it so many times. If you're leading, as Pinnock was leading last year, going into the 6th round, Tentoglu is going to be there. You can see Pinnock talking about him having to get that Greek guy. He is the man right now. But the youngsters, I believe, are soon going to overtake him.
Yeah, interesting points indeed from Oba. Just to quickly summarize the long jump scenario here, J.U. We have a mix of experience, and we also have some young ones coming up. So big things for the sport.
big things for these sports. It adds for good viewership, and it is not only happening in the long jump, but we are also seeing it happen in the sprints, right? The big three from Jamaica, it is the first time they have missed a championship since 2008, and we look forward to see what really is in store for the new generation of sprinting, where Julian Alfred now leads the Caribbean women.
Oh, but just quickly before we wrap up this segment, several other finals took place today. Quick thoughts on some of them, expectations, surprises, from your opinion?
Cole Hawker winning the men's 1500 meter. Jakob Ingebrigtsen not even medaling. The defending champion not medaling. It was foreseeable that he might not win, but for him not to medal, that's a huge upset. To me, that was one of the biggest upsets so far of the games.
All right, so that's the points of Oba. You have something
just
to
quick
add?
for the jumps. Something is going on in USA track and field that they need to address, because normally in all these jumps we're supposed to see some Americans, and for the last few years they're dropping out Oba. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, well, what are your thoughts on the 1500?
1500, I think Ingebrigtsen is becoming a bit of a
choker.
Yeah, oh boy. That's scary.
Ingebrigtsen is just talking a little bit too much. He has to respect his competitors. He is no slouch. He has the second fastest time in the world this year, 326.7, just outside of the world record, 326 flat set by El Garouge. But Jakob Ingebrigtsen took the race out. He tried to take the sting out of the race by getting these guys started, because he know they are not as strong as him, but they are faster. If you're supposed to match the American to match Kerr, these guys have a faster foot speed if you match them over the last 150 or so. So he left nothing in the tank to come home, and obviously missing out on a medal, the defending Olympic champion.
He tried to take the sting out, but the Jep sting Nina, and he come forth.
Well, Nina gonna be crying when she reach home today.
do you think he should be more like Noah Lyles and back up his talk with more action?
If you're talking, you gotta back it up.
Well, he has to. At some point, he has to. Well, he's done it. He's the defending Olympic champion. But here, when it comes to these type of middle to long distance races, it could go any way. He's so accustomed of having a rapid pace in him through in many of the Diamond League events. But this is not the Diamond League. It's the Olympic. It's a lot at stake, and you have to be mentally locked in to understand what is required to win an Olympic medal. When we watch football, it's not always about who plays the best expansive type of football in major tournaments, and who plays the best defensive strategy to win.
Oh, but do you share the same sentiments of Jehu and Anil that he was a bit of a choker, maybe?
I won't say that he's a choker, but there's some people who speaking a lot gets them actually off their game and not focused. The Brit Kerr, he loves to talk. Cole Hawker, the eventual winner, he wasn't saying anything. I think Ingebrigtsen, to Jehu's point, needs to focus on himself, get away from it. It's good for the fans, right, to have all the talking, but it doesn't seem like it's rewarding him with the medals and the victories. Additionally, to Jehu's point, over in the European circuit, what's happening is the rabbits and the wave lights, the lights around the track, that enables the runners to know exactly where they are. They go out to run fast. Here at championships, it's not about running fast, it's about running faster than the people that you are facing at that particular moment, and he wasn't able to do that tonight.
Oba, a quick point on a point or two on the 3000 steeplechase.
Oh yeah, amazing race. Coming down to the last 50 meters, we've never seen that before. Great race, great race.
Yeah, that's coming on to the end there. The athletes had to go over the hurdles and into the water pits there. Always something interesting to see.
And just for some who just start to watch track and field and think, that water jump's supposed to be there. Just like you're supposed to breast the tape, all right, since 1896. Your chest, every runner knows. We judge you by your chest, not your foot. So all you who just wake up to watch race and talking about foot, oh Lord, give me a chance. Breast the tape, that means chest. Okay, bless. Oh Lord.
You just have to love one.
I don't know, and they're talking big and bold, you know. I don't understand. All you watch a little thing and learn.
Oh, but any closing comments before we go to the break? Thank you, by the way, for being part of the show yet again.
Yes, the men's 400 meters.
Oh yes,
which will feature Karani James from Grenada, who won in London 2012, second in Rio 2016, third in Tokyo. He delivered his first sub-44 performance in 3 years. Other people in their semifinals have run 43 seconds. I think we need to look out for that. That is going to be a brilliant race.
Well, we do have the final start list, as Oba brought up that point. Let's take a quick look at that. You're in luck today, folks. We have lots of great analysts on the show. There we go. We have Christopher Bailey of the USA, Samuel Ogazi from Nigeria, Michael Norman, Kirani James of Grenada, pulling up the good stuff still. Matthew Hodson-Smith. We have Mozala from Zambia, Quincy Hall of the USA, and TNT's Jareem Richards qualifying in his heat as well for the 400-meter men final. I'm not going to ask the points of these gentlemen just yet because we have a full segment to talk on that. But Oba, we want to thank you very much for being part of the show today and keep up the great work in the Paris Combox. We thoroughly enjoyed your company today, my friend.
Thank you very much.
All right, folks, we're going to take a short break and come back with more on We Paddy Prime. Stay with us.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
You excited for date night tonight? I'm seeing you at 5, right?
Of course, babe. I'll see you at 5.
It's the Paris Games, darling. Everything needs to be perfect. Sneakers and spikes?
Check.
Her looks?
Check.
Okay, team. Seems like we pulled this off in record time. So, I just want to know, where's the water? Thanks, but I mean the cases of water. So she can stay hydrated for the games? Where's the water?
I didn't think she was taking water with her to Paris.
Hey, Jacko! The water team send the cases ahead, so if you're good, then I'm officially ready for Paris.
Life come with plenty tough decisions. But you know what not hard? Deciding which flavors to get on your amazing 4 pizza. Pepperoni, Hawaiian, chicken chunks, vegetarian. There's no pressure with Pizza Hut's amazing 4. You get 4 juicy flavors with 1 less choice to make. Pizza Hut, now that's delivering.
In the heart of Kingston's business mecca is a 17-story gem. The Jamaica Pegasus Hotel offers luxury to all our visitors for business or leisure. Relax in one of our many deluxe suites with mountain or pool views. Savor the array of culinary delights in our Blue Window restaurant. Enjoy complimentary breakfast or visit our 24/7 cafe. We boast 9 extensive conference facilities for your meetings and banquets. We look forward to welcoming you soon at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
James wins it 43-79. Where did that come from? And I don't think he wanted to run that ball.
Welcome back. You are watching We Paddy Prime. Grenada's Kirani James leads all qualifiers into Wednesday's final of the men's 400 meter. James won semi-final 2 in a season's best of 43.78 seconds. Will run out of lane 5 in Wednesday's final, while Trinidad and Tobago's Dream Richards also advancing to the final after finishing second in semi-final 1 with 44.33. Now, the lane assignments are coming up shortly, but before we go to that, let's hear from Jareem and the Grenadian racer.
That's one of the fastest times we've seen you run at the Olympics. Can we safely say that you're back?
No, I mean, it's not about being back. It's just trying to be consistent, just trying to, you know, represent my country well, try to perform to the best of my ability.
All the best, brother.
Thank you.
Jareem Richards, 44.33 seconds. Started off fast, maintained your composure down the home stretch. Describe that race for us.
It was good. Coach told me do the same thing I did yesterday. That was my plan. God is good all the time. He is able, so I am able.
It's getting smoother and smoother for you out there?
Yes, for sure.
How do you prepare now as you look ahead to the final? It's a big one. It's another big one for you.
No holding back, all or nothing. The goal is to get a medal. So I just going out there and compete, man.
Nothing less there from J. Hugh Gordon, and who has been doing such great work on the show. But that was the athletes to compete in tomorrow's final. And let's take a look at the lane assignments. Here it is now coming up for the big final, the 400 meter. Christopher Bailey of the USA in lane 2, Samuel Ogazi in lane 3, Michael Norman lane 4, Kirani James out of Grenada in lane 5, Matthew Hodson Smith in lane 6, Muzala in lane 7, Quincy Hall in lane 8, and Jareem Richards of Trinidad and Tobago in lane number 9. And first up, I want to get the comments of one Chris Taylor, who joins us on set. Chris, interesting lineup there for the 400 meter, the big one.
Oh, more than interesting. Brilliant. Very exciting. I agree with Oba, that's going to be a top race when the final is run. Yeah, Jareem Richards has his hands full from the Caribbean. Kirani James looking good. I think Richards probably is on the outside looking in. Wasn't as impressed with the semi-final as with the heats, but he's going to have to run sub 44 to medal in that final. But yeah, top one, I think Hudson Smith is the favorite. Quincy Hall looks excellent. Kirani James is in good form. We've seen, 4 runners run under 44 so far in the semi-final. Samu Konga from Zambia, you can't count him out. So it's a top race right throughout. I would think from the Caribbean perspective, Kirani James, the best chance of a medal. He's done it all. World Championships and Olympic, he's won everything. So yeah, but I think Jareem Richards will have to run the race of his life so far, has to run a big PB if he's going to get onto that medal podium. I understand that that's his goal, but obviously, as you said, he has to leave nothing behind.
Yeah, he said so in the interview that we just heard there. J. Hugh, Jareem has been putting in the work. He's been doing the good stuff. He looks smooth in the semi-final run. But do you agree that he really has to run a personal best? Well, he has to win a personal best in order to be on the medal podium. But what else does he need to do in order to ensure that he gets at least a bronze?
Well, basically, Jareem is in uncharted waters at this point. This is his first major international final when it comes to 400 meters. We know he's a bronze medalist over the 200 meters, which augurs well foot speed-wise coming to the 400 meters. But what Jareem needs to do, first of all, is not be fazed by the lane draw, right? We've seen Wade van Niekerk break the 400-meter world record out of lane 8 back in Rio 2016. So to me, he just needs to keep his composure. He needs to go and run a race that he has never raced before. These guys, they are all faster than him, but it is going to come down on who keeps their composure and who executes the best race on the day. He is not one of the favorites. And just to educate persons a bit about the lane draw, the World Athletics this year has changed the way how they draw the lanes for the final. So even though he qualified with a big queue, he's out in lane 9. So they have 3 draws where they will take the 4 fastest persons qualifying out of the semi-final, and they will put them in the preferred lanes, which are 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then you will have the 2 slowest, which will be the small queues. They will have a separate draw, and they will go 1 and 2 with just two lane draws left, and then they'll do a random draw for them to be in lane 4 and lane 9. So that is how Jareem is now out in lane number 9.
Interesting breakdown there. Arnold Roberts, Kirani James, we've been hearing of him for quite some time, and he still manages to show that his experience counts for a lot.
Kirani James, it was a pleasure to watch. I was in total shock. He looked comfortable, he looked smooth, he looked strong. I haven't seen that kind of run from Kirani in the longest time, but he's an Olympic gold medalist, and every final he don't play. You turn on the bright lights and Kirani is there. He looks to me to be a little bit lighter than last year. He may have dropped about 4 pounds, but he looks great. The man who looks the best is a man called Hall. Not Dennis Hall, a.k.a. Sprangalang, but Hall. But luckily now, Hall is right next to Jareem the Dream, and that could augur well for Trinidad and Tobago. So I agree that right now, in the science of the run and so on, Jareem is on the outside 5th or 4th. All right, but there's a race to run. There are 3 medal positions. Hall and Kirani James look the best. The young man from Zambia who was injured last year, he is running phenomenally well, but he looked like he pulled out his liver string in the heat, and right here, look at him, rough and fighting. Okay, he's got 24 hours or so to recover. Maybe he could do it again. It's always good to break 44. So I will say Hall, Kirani, Norman, and the Zambia look like they have the medals, but Jareem is a sprinter. He's the 200 man. He's in lane 9. If he can get out smooth and fast, easy speed to 150, Hall will come past him. Now, Jareem will have to decide, is he willing to take that pressure and that pain coming down to the end to fight for that podium? You have to decide now. Remember I told you about that Brazilian swimmer who told me and held me and choked me and said he wants one of these? Jareem has to be like that, because Hall will go. If Jareem goes with Hall, he's on the podium.
We're going to choke you.
Hudson Smith.
Yeah. We're going to choke you.
I forget Hudson.
Listen, the man is one, then how come you don't even call his name?
I don't Hudson Smith. I apologize. I did Hudson.
Listen, when it comes to major championships, you really do not want to change your race plan too much. To me, the dry run for the final always is a great setup from the semi-final. And sometimes you just add a little extra heart, a little extra passion, and that is kind of sometimes how we see the separation. So he cannot go out there and do something that he has never done before, to run the first 300, obliterate the field, and then fade coming home over the last 100 meters. This is Jareem's race. Right. Yeah? So Jareem, stay composed, listen to your race, run your race. What we tend to see in many occasions is the fact that people go out there, a lot is at stake, and they do something they've never done, and then they implode. They run a race, and now, guess what?
We did say
they lose the final medal.
That based on his height as well, he's what, 6'4", maybe?
He's about 6'2", 6'1".
6'2", yeah. Right. I mean, with his height, that the outside lane, and the wonder was at first, because he didn't come first in his semi-final, that he might have ended up in lane, say, 3 or 4, which, I mean, normally for shorter runners would be excellent, but for him, that wouldn't have suited him. So I think for him to get a 8 or 9, and he's in 9, I think that would actually suit him. Yes, he'll be running blind, but I think based on his body structure and length of stride, that will be better for him. Probably will help him in terms of acceleration, as you said, in that last 200, which is where, I mean, he has done well based on his sprint ability. I think in the semi-final, he might have gone out a little bit too hard. I think we were talking about that as well, Jehu. In that first 200, he really let things go. He pressed the turbo button early, and I think he paid the price near the end. So,
what about the Zambian? What do you think?
I think he worked hard, Samu Kanga, but I think he's a very strong athlete. Now coming back from injury. Yeah, didn't need to run 23, 80 odd.
43.
43. So I think that will take a toll on him coming into the final. But as I said, they have shown that they have been able to recover and have the strength. I think he will be there and thereabouts. I don't think he will fade.
Yeah, I don't want to underestimate him at all, because he is somebody that had the second fastest time in the world last year, and due to a hamstring injury, he missed the world championship. So he is somebody that strong. I can say he has an outside chance. One guy that Anil did not mention is Matthew Hudson-Smith, who is a silver medalist from the World Championships. He has he had the first fastest time in the world this year, and he's the European champion.
I think he looks the best.
He is my best bet for the favorite right now.
He looked comfortable, I agree.
He looked pretty relaxed. He looked pretty comfortable.
I think he'll run 43.5, 43.6.
His training partner is Stephen Gardner, the defending Olympic champion. So I would see, if I am his coach and one of my top athletes is the defending champion, I will want the person to replace him to go out there and prove, hey, my camp is the best camp for the 400 meters.
Before we go to our next topic there, Jehu, you know what is my next question? You've done well with your predictions, and I'm asking you again. 1, 2, 3. Let's hear it.
Let's
see that graphic once more of the lane assignments and the graphic of the 400 meter. Yeah. And let's get Jehu's prediction. Here we go.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Matthew Hudson-Smith for first. I'll go Kirani James for second. Quincy Hall for third.
All right. Anil Roberts.
My heart and soul are taking Quincy Hall by Matthew Hudson-Smith. And outside smoke with the Lord and 1.4 million Trinbagonians blowing and pulling him across. Jareem, the Dream Richards for bronze in lane 9.
Chris Taylor.
Yeah, I'm going Matthew Hudson-Smith. Quincy Hall second, Kirani James bronze.
Oh, you're leaving out me Trini, boy?
Trini, fourth.
Oh, Lord.
Chris just say, okay, I'll take fourth.
I rebuke
so watch, as a Trini, we would love Jareem to win.
Of course.
We would love Jareem to win. When we kind of watch these stats, it really doesn't favor him too well, based on he's never been at this level, having to produce such great times in a heat, in a semi-final, and then having to come back within a short space of time. This is personal best he's set over the last couple of weeks, and he's pretty consistent. So we could either see two things. We could see a big drop from Jareem Richards off of the 44.3 that he ran in the heats and the semi-finals to break the national record to mount the podium, or we could see the extent to which the rungs does take a toll on his body.
I would love to see, even if Richards doesn't medal, I would love to see him break that 44
Me,
barrier.
I want to see no break, no 43, 44. We breaking 44, and I'm forgetting all this science, all this intelligence, all this brain, all this SportsMax analysis. Jareem following Hall onto the podium. End that talk.
All right.
Break, man.
All right. No, we're not going to take a break yet. We're not going to take a break yet. Please don't. But now Jamaica's Rochelle Clayton and Cheyenne Salmon are in through to Thursday's women's 400-meter hurdles final. Clayton won semi-final 1 in 53 flat seconds, and Cheyenne Salmon was third in semi-final 3 with a personal best time of 53.13 seconds. Now, before we have a look at the lane assignments, let's hear from the athletes.
53 seconds flat. Another fabulous race for us observing up here. What are your thoughts on it?
I think it was a pretty good execution. My aim is always to execute and build on my execution each race. And I think I did it fairly good tonight.
Yeah, and you have been improving in terms of times as well, but does that really matter in the scheme of things, you think?
At championships, times don't really matter. It's all about executing and getting the right execution at the right time.
So now you're prepping for the final. What are you going to be doing in the meantime?
Rest and recovery. It's all about rest and recovery. Oh, happy Independence Day, Jamaica. Yes, happy Independence.
So that's what a personal best race looks like. 53.13 seconds, and what a time to run it as well.
Yes, you know, I was hell-bent on making this final, and I just came out here with God's help, and I did the best that I could, and I made it, so I'm grateful.
and you're running with the world #1 this season, Femke Ball. You saw her all the way. Did that affect the type of race any at all?
No, I don't think so. My coach and I already discussed the race strategy, and I worked on it, so I wasn't paying attention to anybody but myself.
How do you better that performance of the final?
You know, the final is definitely going to be faster, so I'm assuming that I'm going to have to go faster. So I'm just grateful that I'm in the final right now, and that is all I'm thinking about right now. I can't even think about the final.
Yeah, that was Clayton and Salmon there. Let's take a quick look at the lane assignments for this one. 2 Jamaicans in the mix of things, and they will have to work extremely hard to be on the top 3. Here it is. Cheyenne Salmon from Jamaica in lane 2, Savannah Sutherland lane 3, Louise Marival in lane 4. In lane 5, we have Sydney Levron in 5, Ball in lane 6, Cockrell lane 7, Clayton, Rochelle Clayton in lane 8, and Jasmine Jones in lane 9 out of the USA. You know, Rochelle said something that really struck me there. Times don't really matter in big championships. It's about execution that matters. One Jehu Gordon believes otherwise, maybe?
No, she's correct, utmost correct, especially when it comes to the 400-meter hurdles. If you try to do something out of your stride pattern and your stride rhythm, you could either chip to the hurdle, you could jump the hurdle, you could get up high, you could extend energy in ways that you really don't need to. So, Rochelle Clayton, I wish you all the best. She's the bronze medalist from the World Championships last year. She has a personal best of 52 seconds, which is pretty good enough to win bronze. However, I believe it is going to be a tight one between herself and Anna Cockrell from the United States for that bronze medal position. The top 2 is outright and clear out of this universe, Sydney McLaughlin and Femke Bol from Netherlands.
Walk us through the points of differences between a regular sprint down the track and the hurdles, because some people understand that, yes, the hurdles are a major difference, but there are also some similarities.
Yeah, I think people overthink the hurdles. The difference really is that there are 10 barriers in the way, right? It is a sprint, and the same mechanics you require over the sprint, you require it over the hurdles. But the person that does not stray too much from their regular mechanics is the person that could conserve the most energy and be able to run the strongest race.
And right here you see McLaughlin, who is the poster child for hurdles. Her coach will buffer on the 9th hurdle, as Jay Hughes said. You want to keep your stride pattern normal. For men, they may take 12 to 14 steps and then hurdle and keep it going like that. You never want to short step and adjust and so on, especially on the home stretch. McLaughlin, and maybe she was just cooling it down, but on the 9th hurdle, she did a little stutter step and so on. I'm sure our coach will say, hey, while I wanted you to go easy, I don't want that to ever enter your race, because she's a perfectionist. When she goes around, it's exact steps, overflowing. They go over the hurdle with such little effort. It's like they're just running normally, Chris.
And what we could really see work to Sydney's advantage is the fact that for the early part of the season, her coach has her doing a lot of 100-meter hurdle work. So the better that she gets technically over the hurdling event, it will add to her great competitive advantage over the longer distances.
Interesting points indeed. Chris, what do you think the chances of the Jamaican athletes are to be on the top, maybe top 3 or 4?
No, yeah, I think Clayton is a favourite for the bronze. I agree with Jehu. I think the top 2, unless they hit a hurdle, is decided already. I think McLaughlin is far the best 400 hurdler out of them. I mean, this is somebody who's run, what, 48.7. In fact, she was the world leader in 400 flat up until when Nikisha Price from Jamaica broke it. So I think her speed is amazing. In fact, in terms of how low she gets over the hurdles, I was even saying to Jehu earlier, that's a bit unusual for me when watching a 400 hurdler, how low she actually gets. There's a crouch, which looks like a sprint hurdler, Sydney. But as I said, she has always been able to maintain the bar. She's, I mean, remarkable, out of this world, I think, in terms of her ability.
If we watch Rochelle Clayton here, even on the backstretch, you get to see she does not spend a lot of time in the air. And the less air time you could spend in the hurdles, it means you could cut off a lot more time heading into the overall distance.
Clayton, I think, certainly, I mean, really good chance, and I agree with you again that Cockrell, the American, is the one who's going to really challenge for that bronze. I think Cheyenne Salmon did very well to get into the final, but I don't see her getting on the podium. But at this point, Bol and McLaughlin, I think gold and silver, barring any incidents on the track, I think that's a certainty. I think the rest of the athletes are a step behind, but the strength of Clayton from start to finish, her strength and ability and determination, I think will pull her into that bronze for the Caribbean.
Yeah, would you say though that Jamaicans must be proud of the athlete for just getting into the final now?
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, as a nation, as a Caribbean entity, you're always glad when your athletes get to the final stage of an Olympic Games or World Championships. But I think when you're looking at, especially Clayton, she's been there. She's been into major finals before, so for her that's not good enough. As she said, it's all about execution. If you asked her if she got to a final and that was how it ended, she would tell you that's not acceptable from her standpoint. Cheyenne Salmon, now, this is new territory for her, so she's saying, well, you know, she just is amazed to get there and she'll deal with that when it comes. But Clayton, having been there already, executing on the highest level, getting a bronze medal already, for her, it's about bettering that and doing better and challenging the top 2 athletes in the world. So perspective, always important from an athlete's perspective. If you're already a winner or a medalist, then you always want to go better. If you have never made a final, then for you, that is your big achievement. But yeah, it's stepping stones.
Sydney McLaughlin, Levron Jehu, for the young ones looking on, certainly want to emulate and want to look at as a role model. What does she do different to the other hurdlers in the final?
Well, one, Sydney could actually hurdle. Over the years, we saw persons with just flat 400-meter speed. The coach will put them in the event and tell them just go run it because they could get away with the speed. But Sydney is the complete hurdler. She's fast, she's efficient, she's smooth, and most of all, she is very, very confident when it comes to any leg that comes up. She could switch legs in between, and not a lot of persons can do that.
Interesting points indeed. We're going to take a short break, folks, and come back on We Party Prime. Stay with us.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
In a world where our dreams sometimes seem so far away, Digicel is the partner that brings us all together. One side, one goal. One Digicel. One Jamaica.
Absolutely incredible performance.
Be terrified by the line that went on forever, where one man is trapped in a never-ending car insurance payment line.
Wow, that sounds like a nightmare.
Right?
So why not skip the horror story and choose BCIC for all your car insurance needs?
You can go online and get a quote in less than 5 minutes. Or you can buy a policy in less than 10 minutes.
Plus payment options and so much more designed especially for you. BCIC, rethink insurance.
It's the Paris Games, darling. Everything needs to be perfect. Sneakers and spikes?
Check.
Her looks?
Check.
Okay, team. Seems like we pulled this off in record time. So, I just want to know, where's the water? Thanks, but I mean the cases of water. So she can stay hydrated for the games? Where's the water?
I didn't think she was taking water with her to Paris.
The water team send the cases ahead, so if you're good, then I'm officially ready for Paris.
We a bucket together when everybody out. Fried chicken we a pre-bucket for the crew. Share a bucket together, everybody go live. Spicy original when we online. Bucket together to the new dance craze. Taste explosion bursting with flame. When we a bucket together, it put you in a good mood. Every moment you share is finger licking good. Bucket together, come make we bucket together. Hey, bucket together, bucket together.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
Grenada's two-time world champion Anderson Peters, in search of his first Olympic medal, produced a season-best throw of 88.63 meters to secure qualification to the Javelin throw final on Thursday. Peters' 88.63 meters throw was second-best throw in the qualification round. Now, Trinidad and Tobago's Kishon Walcott, the 2012 champion and 2016 bronze medalist, also advanced to the final with a throw of 83.02 meters. Now, Kishon came off some real hard times, Jehu, over the last 6 to 12 months. He had an Achilles problem, which he had surgery to rectify, and he admitted publicly that this had a major impact on his mental capacity, that he had some work done with therapy, and he looked at life in total differently. But it's good to see him now, representing his sport and representing himself and his country to the best of his ability and getting into the final.
Yeah, I know Kishon must be very proud of himself, especially his support team. He's somebody that has already won gold for Trinidad and Tobago in 2012 and then followed that up with a bronze in Rio 2016. He is the type of athlete that is intrinsically motivated. There are many times I go out to the Hazy Crawford Stadium on a morning and he's alone by himself with his coach out there. And when I talk about passion, when I talk about dedication, discipline, there's nobody that I know that has more of that than Kishon Walcott. So to see him there, he did not qualify as one of the top qualifiers this morning, but I know it is really not about being the top qualifier in the heats. It is really about getting there, and then once you're in the finals, producing one of your best throws to beat all the other competitors. He doesn't necessarily need to produce a world-leading, an Olympic record or world record. As we know, he won gold with 84.58 back in the London 2012 game. So I feel that the injury that he's recovering from last year could be at an advantage for him. We've seen whereby his shoulder or his elbow per se has given him much trouble over the last couple of years, that he even had to do surgery for that. So given the little rest, I could see it forming some form of benefit, some form of advantage for him heading into the finals.
Anil, he did not produce a big throw per se, but he posted on social media that right after his throw that he was very, very happy with his effort, just putting in a throw and just happy to make it through to the final.
Yeah, he had to be in the final. Once he could throw in the final, remember when he won the gold in London 2012, in the prelim, somebody had thrown 88, but he got the gold with 84.58. So he's inside there with a chance. And Anderson Peters, that Grenadian, he looked great, boy. That man fling that thing and just watch them and say, what I'm to all you. all you want me to throw again? I'll go throw in the finals. Anderson Peters looks fantastic. Kishon is an Olympic champion and Olympic bronze medalist from 2016. He's in the final. So it's all, he had to go tell the girl, don't call him. No more Lanha products, cooking and cleaning and things. Just get ready to throw javelin.
And Anderson Peters was actually motivated by Keyshawn Stroh back in London 2012. That is what got him into javelin.
Interesting point. Chris, Keyshawn, Anderson, Trinidad and Tobago, Grenada, both great chances for medaling in the javelin final.
Caribbean, right, all around. One has gotten it done in the World Championships before, one has gotten it done in the Olympics. Maybe they need to get these things together, join the forces, join the forces. But yeah, Anderson Peters, the Olympics hasn't been the greatest forum for him so far, but in great form. Think about it, the prelims, and he's thrown 88 plus. And Walcott in 2012 won with 84. So it just means, as Anil says, you never know what's going to happen in a final. When the pressure is on, when it matters most. You're not sure if it's going to be a season best, but you just need to be in the race, in the competition. Get a good throw out early. We saw in the long jump the importance of getting something on the board early. The young 19-year-old Italian, first jump, 8.34, and that made the difference, getting him on the podium. So I think come tomorrow for the final, or 2 days' time, it will be most important for both of the athletes, Peters and Walcott, to get something in early. But I have no doubt that they will be competing. They have real good chances. They have been there, done that on the big stage, so they know what it takes, and I'm sure that they will deliver.
Well, let's hear what he had to say. Grenada's Anderson Peters, the man from the Spice Isle. He spoke with us in Paris.
Anderson Peters, 88.63 meters, one and done. What was that like out there?
I mean, it's really good to be able to throw a season best in the qualification round. I wouldn't say I was struggling for the first half of the season, but I was just figuring myself out coming off an injury last year, and I think I'm finally about 85% healthy. So now I could really enjoy the javelin, you know?
85% healthy, that's pretty scary if you're doing that. But obviously looking for the national record over 93 meters?
Well, to be honest, I feel like I'm in a PB state right now. I wouldn't be surprised if I come in the finals and do a PB. That's the way I feel right now, so I'm just looking forward to putting on a good show and putting my best effort forward.
You, of course, used to world championship titles. Olympic gold would look really good on your resume.
Yeah, trust me, man. I feel like it's the only major title that I'm missing in my collection, so I'm on the quest for that.
Yeah, an athlete with all smiles and hoping for a personal best. And he thinks that if he does get that personal best, he will be on top of the world. Jehu, athletes know when they can pull off the good stuff.
Yeah, he said that as if he's done something in practice that will show him he is in PB shape. There's no way I'm going to put out in the atmosphere that I'm in PB shape, especially if I'm struggling in training. So I'm really looking forward to see if he's going out there and throw a national record, a personal best, and probably once he does that, he will be in good shape and good notch to win an Olympic gold or his first Olympic medal.
Chris, he said he was 85% healthy. I don't want to see him at 100%. He might throw 100.
And one throw, he threw 88.63. So it shows that obviously there's great confidence about him. I mean, one of the things that should be said, it's great to see, I mean, resilience is a big part of athletics, big part of sport generally. So it's important to see athletes like that. As you said, Walcott, for example, 2012, 2016 success, and then a dim period, injuries, lack of success. So great to see him work at his game. Many persons would give up. A big part of sport is being resilient, knowing how to recover, the mental stability, doing your work with your sports psychologist. Those things are important. It's something that we don't look at in the Caribbean, I think, and it's something we need to look into if we want more success from a Caribbean perspective, generally in sport, sports psychologists, and the benefit of having them in that mental game. So I think to see those two gentlemen come back from big injuries, big incidents, remember the incident with Peters not so long ago, and to see them come back, smile, and be able to get to an Olympic final on the big stage is massive, no matter what happens tomorrow.
Well, just to tell you, Anderson Peters, the way he looked there and from what he say, I believe in him. And I happy for gold. Keshawn, if Keshawn could throw and get up on the podium, I will celebrate. All of we will celebrate. But none of them are going no celebration on no party boat. That is what I will tell you.
You just have to bring that in, right?
No party boat. We celebrating on the ground normal, right?
Well, if you know what that means, friends, well, good for you.
After they get gold and bronze, no party boat, right?
But he made his selection, eh?
Yeah, he made his selection.
Yeah.
If you know what Anna Roberts is speaking about, well, good for you. I will not add to that conversation. But there was an incident some time ago with the javelin throw that I will not mention again.
Right.
Now, in the women's long jump, Jamaica's Akila Smith made progress to the final with a leap of 6.59 meters. Her countrymate Shanice Porter's 6.48 meters was not enough for her to progress to the final. Donald Oliver caught up with the ladies.
Shanice Porter, talk to me, what was it like out there? You looked good.
Well, I was feeling good, to be honest. It's good to be out there, to be honest. Unfortunately, I didn't make the finals, but it was good to be out there competing.
Yeah, what do you take away from these games?
Well, this is my final games, final competition overall, because I'm retiring. But it was just good to be out here with these girls. You know, they've been competing all well this season, and for me to be out here with them.
Akila Smith, you have qualified for the final of the long jump. Talk to me about what took place out there, in your opinion.
Well, it was a good series. It wasn't a really bad one. Just had to work a little bit, but overall it just wasn't the best series, but it wasn't a bad series.
A lot to take from heading into the final in a couple of days?
Yes, it definitely get me in the mood to compete in a sense. So I'm ready to compete now.
Or is that we're a little nervous?
Not really. I just think my legs are a little tired, but I should be fine in the final. I'll go home, get some rest and recovery done, and then I should be fine.
Well, you heard it right here on We Party Prime. Shanice Porter admitting and revealing to the world, Chris, that she will retire after the Olympics.
Yeah, so not the best way to go from her perspective, and you could see that somewhat. I think it was a bit of a surprise that she was actually retiring, but yeah, finishing 17th overall, 6:48, not her best, but she's there at the Olympic Games competing. I think from a Smith perspective, Akila obviously mentioning the tired legs, and no surprise, remember that she came 7th in the triple jump final, so big representation, would have had a lot of jumps as well, so that would have taken a toll, maybe a bit of soreness, and it will tell you all about the massage therapy and how that should go. But yeah, so Smith, but good to see her still being able to come, finish 10th overall. I think if she wants to get on that podium, though, she'll have to get a lot closer to 7 meters. I think 6:59 is not there. She'll have to get up to the high 6s if she even wants to get into that final 8, I would say, with just the 3 additional jumps. But hey, as you said, get into the final and anything is possible. But no surprise that there's a bit of tired legs from her perspective.
Yeah, for sure. Anil, what sort of recovery work would a long jumper have to do, and does it differ from the other athletes?
Well, recovery is across the board basically the same, because when you utilize your muscles to the extent above what they're accustomed to, the fibers will tear and so on. So you have to, ice is always important. If you could take that, some people can't sit down in a ice bath and so on, that's torture. If you could do that, brilliant. Light massage, continuous stretching, not overstretching, relaxation, keeping your muscles above your heart, keeping the blood flowing, and resting. However, she did triple jump. Triple jump, I tell all you, that thing just looks like every time you bounce and bolt, that something could bust. So I can tell you that to do triple jump and then come back in the long jump, she is incredible. But it also augurs well for her, because if her body is recuperating, you normally, if you go in the gym, you will know you pump hard and thing, and you wake up the next morning, you're a little stiff. But the next morning, 48 hours after, you can't walk. You're going in the car, you can't accelerate, you had to bend, put the seat back to get in. That's called DOMS, delay onset muscle soreness. These athletes go through that, but they know how to deal with it. They have the best massage therapists, the best doctors, they understand. So she will be ready.
Even ice baths, that's one of the new methods of recovering. They get into either a cryo chamber, but at the Olympics, I don't believe they will have any form of cryotherapy. But ice baths, for sure, they will have available to them.
I need to ask you this question, One Jehu. How does an athlete spend so much time? And I say so much time because it's what, 10 to 15 minutes in an ice bath, right? That is torture, my friend.
It sure is torture. I have some athletes at the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine, and they hate to use the ice baths. Shonel, Dean, Nassim, it is always trouble. But at this level, We get accustomed to it. We know that this is part of the job that we sign up for, and we just have to take one for the team.
Did you use ice baths in your recovery when you were at the highest level?
I love the ice baths.
Oh, you love the ice baths?
I love ice baths.
My goodness.
I remember at one time there was more ice than water in the ice baths. That was in World Championships. We had pre-camp in Finland, and we actually used hockey ice. Yeah, and that ice is, for some reason, it feels cooler, it feels harder, it is a lot thicker, and we used a big bin, 3/4 of it was full with ice, and probably just a quarter with water. I was only able to stay there about 5 minutes.
On top of the ice, massage therapists are very important, and governments must invest, even at the junior levels, Carifta and so on, with your massage therapist, because on top of the ice and so on, a skillful, knowledgeable massage therapist in different forms, patrissage, fretrissage, or even the cupping now, you need that, and you must work with the athlete. So you don't just bring a massage therapist who has never worked with an individual and tell them you get to pick, you get to travel. You need someone who works with the athlete. When George Bovell 2004 Olympics, we had a massage therapist. I tell him, sit down on this massage table here, going to warm up, George, and come. Don't move. When I come back, Spain all around, I can't find the massage therapist. Sharpie, I said, where you? He said, down. I said, but I didn't tell you, sit down here. George need a massage to recover and relax from the warm-up. He said, but Spain says them on. Well, boy, you know me. Broken Spanish, pelt away back. Well. George lay down, gave him massage, bronze medal. Recovery, recuperation, training hard, that's where it's at, and performing. So these people are key. You have to spend your money for the athletes if you want results.
Good points indeed.
I know you mentioned Ian Sharp. Ian Sharp was actually my personal massage therapist that I traveled with, who helped me a part of my gold medal journey of winning world champion.
Trinidadian. Very skilled. He didn't know to sit down on the massage table though. He framed them Spanish, but brilliant, knows what to do, and you need, I must say, to work with the athletes during training. They know how to learn, they learn the body. Those massage therapists could predict where you may get an injury and tell the coach to go off, change your workouts and so on. It's very important information.
It comes down to the small details, correct.
A very nice lecture there. We had a short lecture there on recovery. So those of you looking on, you're an athlete yourself and you want to get to the highest level, you just learned a whole lot about your recovery. So take some notes, all right? We have the medal tables coming up for you. Let's take a look at it. First up, we have the athletics medal table. That will come up first. And here it is, ranking the USA with 5 gold, 16 in total. Canada, second, 2 gold, 2 in total. Kenya, third spot with 1 and 4 in total. China, fourth in that position, 1 gold and 3 in total. Great Britain, position number 5, rounding off the top 5 with 1 gold and 3 in total. And here we go, St. Lucia, you're in 6th spot on the top 10 of the table with 1 gold, 1 silver, 2 in total. The first Caribbean nation to be in the top 10 on this chart so far. Now, might I say, edging closer to the top 5 position. Hopefully we're going to see more coming up in the days to come, but only time will tell. And Jay Hugh, just a quick point on the athletics table there.
Yeah, for St. Lucia, with their population, to be ahead of a strong federation like Netherlands, it is really, really inspiring to see where the Caribbean now is heading to.
Yeah, that's a look at the second page there of the athletics medal count. Bahrain in position number 11 with 1 gold and 1 in total. Jamaica, position number 16 with just that 1 bronze and 3 silver, 4 in total for them. And Grenada with that bronze medal as well. So,
well, they're going to jump up to the top 10 after Anderson Peters.
And Keyshawn Walker.
And Keyshawn is going to join that as well. And there you had the athletics medal table. Let's take a look at the overall medal table now. And this is going to be interesting. Does the USA hold their top spot? Yes, they do, with 22 gold medals, 82 in total. China, 22 gold, 58 in total. Australia, 14 gold, 35 in total. France, 4th on the table, the host nation, 13 gold and 48 in total. And Great Britain rounded off the top 5 with 12 gold and 45 in total. Anna Roberts, a quick word on the overall medal rankings.
Well, the USA in track and field has made a comeback because in swimming they were struggling. They tried to give me a whole countdown to say that they did so well because they add up all the silver and bronze. But they had to, in swimming, they waited for the last day to get the men's gold medal individual. France is doing incredibly well, but China is showing that they are here to be a superpower, not only in trade, not only in manufacture, not only in the arms race, but in sport across the board. And they're doing exceptionally well in diving and some of the technical sports,
sure.
table tennis and so on.
Yeah, they've been very dominant in the realm of archery, but now we're seeing a spread of sports they're doing well in. Gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for joining us. Thanks to Obadiah Thompson as well, joining us from the Paris Combox. And thank you once again for joining us on behalf of all of us here from We Party Prime. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.
Ensemble, notre âme survit. Glorious, we rise above. In the games of unity, we find our love, Nous nous aimons dans les jeux d'unité. Nous trouvons notre éclat. Courage, our hearts beat. De chaque nation nous venons pour rivaliser. Avec passion et courage, nos cœurs sont élevés. In the arena, we give our all. With grace and honor, we stand tall.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by From the 13th of August to the 19th, some of the world's best players descend on the city of Cincinnati for world-class tennis from the WTA. Watch on your home of champions. Stay connected. Stream on the SportsMax app. For over 100 years, the WTA's National Bank Open, presented by Rogers, has been providing top-class tennis